15th September 1940, 11:02 a.m., Bentley Priory, North London. The operations room smells of sweat, hot wiring, and stale tea. A WAAF plotter grips a long wooden croupier stick, her knuckles white, eyes locked on the glowing table below. Green light pulses faintly across Britain's coastline. Headphones crackle. Raid forming, strength increasing, Angels 15. Outside, the sky is deceptively calm. Thin clouds drift over the Thames estuary. Somewhere far beyond the horizon, engines are already warming. Inside the room, time compresses. Colored blocks slide across the map. Blue for friendly, red for hostile. Each marker represents hundreds of men sealed inside aluminum and glass, climbing steadily toward England. Someone mutters numbers under their breath. Someone else swallows hard. This is not guesswork, not prayer, not luck. Miles away along the coast, towering steel masts hum softly. The chain-home radar stations are awake. Radio waves slice into the sky, strike metal wings, and return with secrets no pilot can hide. A senior officer leans forward. Confirm heading. The answer comes instantly, direct to London. No sirens yet, no explosions, only quiet urgency and controlled fear. Across the channel, Luftwaffe Gruppen are forming into perfect geometric precision. Heinkel HE-111s, Dornier DO-17s, Junkers U-88s, escorted by Messerschmitt Bf-109s, noses pointed west. German crews are confident. They've been told Britain is blind. They've been told the enemy will not see them coming. Back in the operations room, Fighter Command already knows their altitude, speed, and direction. Orders are written before the enemy even crosses the coast. Telephones ring, squadrons scramble, pilots run, engines roar. And somewhere in Germany, an intelligence officer's earlier report, dismissing radar as a crude bluff, is about to echo across the sky in fire and wreckage. The first dots reach the English coast. The trap is set.
Across the channel, confidence fills the cockpits. German aircrews tighten gloves, check instruments, joke through oxygen masks. They have flown over Poland, Norway, France. Each time the enemy collapsed quickly. Britain, they'd been told, will be no different. Intelligence briefings were clear. British radar is unreliable, primitive, easily deceived. A psychological weapon, nothing more. Reichsmarshal Hermann Göring himself had brushed it aside. The RAF, he promised, would be destroyed in the air. Once Fighter Command was broken, Operation Sea Lion would follow. Invasion, victory. The bombers fly in clean formation, sunlight glinting off glass noses and black crosses. Below them, the channel looks peaceful, empty. No interceptors, no resistance, exactly as planned. But unseen, high above the coast, radio waves are already bouncing back to steel towers. Each return signal sharpens the picture. Each echo strips away German invisibility. Inside Bentley Priory, the raid is no longer a mystery. It is a moving equation. Vector 300, climb, Angels 18. The order travels down telephone lines to sector stations, then out across radio channels to waiting airfields. At Biggin Hill, Hornchurch, North Weald, pilots sprint for their aircraft. Hurricanes and Spitfires cough to life. Ground crews yank away chocks. Engines scream. They are not reacting blindly. They are being guided. Up in the German formations, something feels wrong. Still no enemy, yet the silence stretches too long. A Bf-109 pilot scans the empty sky, uneasy. Britain should already be burning below them. Instead, the air feels watched. Then suddenly, bandits, 12 o'clock high. RAF fighters drag out of the sun like knives. Cannons flash, tracers tear through bomber boxes, aluminum ruptures, a Heinkel lurches, wing aflame, tumbling toward the sea. Formation discipline shatters in seconds. German gunners fire wildly, stunned by how precise the interception is, how perfectly timed. This was not chance. This was not bravery alone. This was a system the Luftwaffe never believed could work. And as more RAF squadrons arrive, exactly where they're needed, exactly when, a terrible realization begins to spread through German ranks. Britain is not blind. Britain is watching everything, and the sky is no longer theirs.
The battle in the air looks chaotic. It is anything but. Far from the spiraling dogfights, deep inside reinforced concrete bunkers, Britain's true weapon hums with methodical precision. This is Dowding's system, an invisible machine built from wires, radios, radar towers, and human discipline. At Fighter Command Headquarters, Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding stands almost motionless. He does not shout. He does not chase rumors. He waits for confirmed tracks, trusting the flow of information moving from coast to cockpit. Radar does not fight alone. Observers from the Royal Observer Corps scan the skies inland, filling the gaps when aircraft slip below radar coverage. Plotters update tables. Controllers calculate fuel, altitude, timing. Every squadron is husbanded carefully. No wasted takeoffs, no heroic but useless charges. This is the difference. German pilots expect massed formations. What they face instead is relentless precision. Small RAF groups attack, disengage, vanish, then reappear from new angles minutes later. Each interception feels planned. Each escape feels impossible. In Berlin, reports begin to contradict assumptions. How do the British know where to be? Why are fighters always waiting? German electronic intelligence officers search desperately for answers. Some still insist radar is too crude to matter. Others suggest it merely provides early warning, nothing decisive. The truth is worse. Radar is only the first domino. Once an echo appears on a cathode ray screen, the entire British air defense machine awakens. Human minds turn signals into strategy. Decisions are made in seconds, not minutes. Up in the sky, the Luftwaffe bleeds for every mile. A Dornier staggers home with half its crew dead. A U-88 crashes into a Kent field, propellers digging into earth. Bf-109s burn precious fuel, chasing Spitfires that refuse prolonged combat. German pilots glance at their gauges. Fuel is running low. England is still standing. Then the unthinkable happens. RAF squadrons begin appearing even farther inland, waiting over targets that should have been a surprise. London, airfields, factories. The bombers are met again and again. Confidence turns to confusion, confusion to fear. Some crews begin jettisoning bombs early, desperate to lighten aircraft and escape. Accuracy collapses, losses mount. Back in Bentley Priory, a new raid forms on the table. Larger than before, more dangerous. Dowding finally speaks. Hold reserves, let them commit. Because the enemy has not yet understood the full extent of their mistake. And when they do, it will already be too late.
In Berlin, the maps tell a comforting lie. Red pins push steadily toward London. Tonnage figures climb. Bomb damage assessments grow more optimistic by the day. To the men at the top, the numbers suggest progress. The RAF, they believe, is nearing collapse. Hermann Göring is confident. Furious, yes, but confident. He blames failures not on flawed strategy, but on disobedience, on bomber crews losing nerve, on fighter escorts wandering too far from formation. It cannot be British radar. That idea has already been dismissed. Göring orders a shift. No more focus on RAF airfields and sector stations, too slow, too inconclusive.
Instead, the Luftwaffe will break Britain's spirit directly. The capital will burn, civilian morale will shatter. London becomes the target. For Fighter Command, it is an unexpected reprieve. Damaged airfields are repaired, sector stations breathe again, radar towers remain standing, untouched, their steel frames still sending invisible pulses into the sky. On 7 September 1940, the sky over London turns black with aircraft. Thousands watch from rooftops and streets as bombers drone overhead. The city erupts in flame. Docks explode. Fires spread unchecked. But even as London burns, the RAF survives, because the system still works. Radar plots the raids forming hours in advance. Fighters rise at the perfect moment, conserving strength, choosing when to engage. Squadrons rotate, pilots rest, then return to the fight. The Luftwaffe is trapped by geography. Bf 109 escorts have minutes, not hours over London. Fuel drains relentlessly. When the fighters turn back, the bombers are left naked. RAF pilots wait for that moment. They attack as escorts peel away, hammering bomber streams that cannot defend themselves. Losses spike. Crews bail out over enemy territory. Prison camps begin to fill. German pilots whisper among themselves now. Something is wrong. The British are anticipating them. Yet High Command refuses to listen. Radar stations are still ignored. Dowding's system remains misunderstood. The Luftwaffe continues flying into an enemy that knows where they are before they even take off. By mid-September, replacement crews arrive with fewer hours. Fatigue sets in. Confidence erodes. Then comes the day that will decide everything. A massive raid is ordered. One final blow to force Britain to the brink. The date is set. The formations assemble. And in the quiet rooms of Fighter Command, Britain prepares to meet them, not with desperation, but with certainty. 15 September 1940. Late morning, southern England. The radar screens glow brighter than usual. Returns stack atop one another, dense and unmistakable. This is no feint, no probing attack. It is the largest Luftwaffe assault yet. Wave after wave climbing over France, crossing the Channel in broad daylight. Inside Bentley Priory, there is no panic. Controllers speak calmly, almost coldly. Squadrons are held back, then released in measured sequence. Not all at once, never all at once. Dowding's system breathes, expands, contracts. In the air, RAF pilots climb into the sun. They see the enemy first. Hundreds of bombers stretch across the horizon, escorts weaving nervously. The scale is overwhelming, yet the interception is flawless. Hurricanes tear into the bombers. Spitfires clash with Bf 109s above them in violent, spiraling duels. The sky fractures. Aircraft burn. Men scream. Parachutes blossom. A Dornier disintegrates mid-air. A Heinkel plunges through cloud, trailing fire. Fighters collide head-on, shredding wings and bodies alike. The Channel fills with debris. For German crews, confusion reigns. RAF fighters appear, disappear, return from impossible angles. Every mile closer to London costs blood. Then fuel warnings sound. Bf 109 escorts begin turning back, one by one, then in groups. Bombers are left alone. RAF pilots see it instantly. They press the attack without mercy. By afternoon, the Luftwaffe is breaking off. Survivors limp home. Many never make it. Losses are undeniable. Morale collapses in real time. That evening, Churchill stands in the House of Commons. He does not know every technical detail. He does not need to. The invasion threat is over. The Luftwaffe has failed. Not because British pilots were braver,
not because German pilots were weaker, but because Britain could see the battle before it began. And across the Channel, at last, the truth can no longer be denied. The enemy was never blind. The enemy was watching everything.
The airfields are quiet now. Mechanics move among damaged aircraft, counting holes, wiping oil from their hands. Pilots sit on crates or grass, exhausted beyond speech. Some stare at the sky. Some do not return at all. Across the Channel, the tone has changed. Reports from Luftwaffe units are grim. Aircraft losses are too high. Crews are shaken. The promised collapse of the RAF never came. Fighter command still rises to meet every raid. In Berlin, excuses run out. Radar, once dismissed as a crude toy, is finally acknowledged as decisive, but acknowledgement comes too late. The moment has passed. Operation Sea Lion is postponed, then quietly abandoned. Britain remains unconquered. The radar towers still stand along the coast, unbombed, unbroken. They continue scanning the sky day and night, their invisible pulses guarding an island that refused to surrender. This was not a victory won in a single dogfight or heroic charge. It was won by preparation, by discipline, by understanding that modern war would be fought as much with information as with firepower. The Luftwaffe would never again enjoy uncontested skies. From this moment forward, the balance begins to shift. The war will stretch on for years, across deserts, oceans, and cities. But here, in the air above Britain, something irreversible has happened. Arrogance has met reality. Mockery has met mathematics. And an empire built on speed and surprise has been stopped cold by the one thing it failed to respect: the ability to see.